welcome to this week's video. We're going to be going through our straight body positioning, making sure that we have nice straight body tension so we can apply it to our harder skills. So come join us.
Alright guys, just following along with me for the warm-up and stretch. We're going to start off with 10 jumping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, now 10 jumps to your side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Okay, now we're going to be doing 10 hops on each leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now swapping legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Now putting your feet apart, you're going to do twisting your hips around. Make sure that you're really stretching out your legs. And now knees together, make sure you're doing big arm circles backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now 10 forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now with your wrists, make sure you're rolling them. And one ankle. 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and swapping over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys, that was warm up.
So we're going to start by figuring out how we actually make our straight body positioning. So Xanthi is lying down on the floor just like this. We've got her lying down on her back. We're going to have her put her arms to her ears. Now when she's doing this, the rest of her body is not all loosey-goosey. She's going to have her toes pointed, her legs together, her bottom squeezed. Her lower back is going to be in the floor making a nice straight line, and her shoulders are completely open so that her arms are fully touching the floor. On top of that, she is squeezing her arms to her ears. She's not just lying there having a nap, she's squeezing super duper strong. Now, I can see Xanthi's ears are completely covered by her arms. If you see that your ears are poking out between your arms, it means you're doing the wrong thing, and you've got to squeeze your shoulders even tighter to the sides of your head and cover those ears. While she's here, we're going to do the wiggle test. So I'm going to come down and hold on to her feet. I'm going to try and wiggle her body, but she should be squeezing everything so tight that she is not going to move. So let's see. How's Xanthi going to go? Oh, that's pretty good if you ask me. So say if Xanthi wasn't squeezing her body and then I gave her a wiggle. So Xanthi, relax. And then I gave her a wiggle. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't work. So we're going to squeeze those feet together. We're going to go through everything again. Her feet are squeezed. Her toes are pointed. Her knees are making happy knees. Her knees are squeezed. Her bottom is squeezed. Her back is into the floor. Her shoulders are open and they're squeezing the sides of her ears, and she's reaching her fingers all the way out. She's not just got relaxed floppy hands. Let's try the wiggle test one more time. Let's see. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we're going to roll onto our bellies and we're going to do the same thing. We want to keep our body straight just like this, but we're just going to flip onto our stomach so that we don't change anything. So do you want to flip over for me? Beautiful. Now again, we're going to squeeze our feet. We're going to squeeze our legs, squeeze our bottoms. We should be squeezing our chest this time because we're facing down, but our shoulders should still be open as we reach to the sky. Again, I don't want to see anyone's ears poking out. We should be squeezing our arms nice and tight. And we're going to try and do the wiggle test again. Let's see, is she going to move? No, she doesn't move. She's nice and strong. She's staying firm in her straight body shape. Now, when you're laying on your belly, you can pretty obviously see if you're not in a straight line. So I want to see that you're keeping everything nice and flat. Nothing's randomly lifted. You're not sticking your bottom up for some reason. Everything's nice and flat. So we're going to go this time from the top down with everything we want to see. We want to see nice hands reaching up to the sky. We want to see our shoulders covering our ears with our arms squeezing nice. Our chest is nice and flat on the floor. Our belly is flat on the floor. We're not sticking anything out. Our bottom is squeezed, our knees are squeezed, and our feet are squeezed. We're going to try one more time for the wiggle test. Beautiful. Now, if you guys can do your straight body positioning just like Xanthi did, then we're getting a good start. So for this activity, we're going to use our shape that we've just done, but we're going to test it out another way to make sure it's working properly. So we've got 2 boxes here, but for you guys at home, you can grab out 2 pillows. Maybe if you've got some really big books, you can set up 2 books. But for us, we're just going to use the boxes because we've got the gym here to use, but you guys can also use this when we get back into the gym. So we're going to lie down, we're going to put our shoulders on one box and our feet on the other box. We're going to glue our arms to our ears, we're going to lift our bottom up, and we're going to make our straight body shape again. So if everything is squeezing nicely and beautifully, just like Xanthi is, then she can have a nice, beautiful straight body shape. But if she's not squeezed, what's going to happen? She's just going to flop down. And we're going to see her bottom significantly dip and everything just fall apart. So it's an easy way to make sure that everything is squeezing nice and tight. Especially here, her bottom is squeezed, and that's the only reason why her hips are staying up. And we can see that her arms are squeezed nicely because she's only on her shoulders. She's not got her entire back flopping on the box. She's staying nice and tight. And again, we've got some beautiful pointed toes, some nice squeezed legs, and of course that belly is up nice and high. So now we're going to flip over, we're going to do the same thing, just facing forwards. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable because you will have your face in the box, but that's okay, you'll survive. For this one, we're going to put our arms down just to make it a little bit easier for you guys. And then we're going to lift our arms up. Again, you've got to be squeezing your bottom and keeping your chest nice and tight so you can actually hold your body up. Again, we have beautiful pointed toes, nice squeezed legs. Everything else is perfect and the same as before. We just have our arms down. Awesome. You can come down and we'll move on to the next thing. So now what we're going to do, we're going to make sure we've got our straight body shape but standing up. So we did it all lying down. We're just going to make sure we can do it vertically as well. So if we remember correctly, we want to see those arms up to our ears, and I want to see you squeezing your ears. Our chest is going to stay in and our bottom is going to be squeezed. From here, we're going to practice this against the wall. The wall can be used just to help us out to make sure it's nice and perfect. So we're going to start with our backs against the wall first. So Zed, you turn around for me. We're going to put our heels against the wall and pop our back against the wall. And here we're going to pop our arms up. This is a nice, easy way, just like we did on the floor, to make sure our bodies are nice and straight. Now, if we can see our backs coming off the wall, that means our chest is starting to stick out and our belly is starting to stick out as well. So we want to make sure we're squeezing our bellies into the wall and pushing our backs in whilst keeping our arms all the way up straight in a nice straight position. And we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to turn around this time to make sure we've got the shape correct the other way as well. So we're going to turn and face the wall. Because you've got feet, you're not going to be right up against the wall, that's okay. But again, I want to see those arms up and those shoulders open, and our belly is going to stay in and our chest is going to stay in. So we shouldn't be perfectly against the wall, but we should be right up next to it, making perfect lines next to each other. Now, another way we can practice to make sure our body stays nice and straight, we're going to take a few steps away from the wall. And then we're going to pop our hands on the wall and we're going to lean forward. So we're going to pop our arms to our ears. We're going to be in our nice straight body position. We're going to lean forward, pop our hands on. And from here, I need to see your bottom squeezed, your chest squeezed, everything staying nice and tight. Even though we're on an angle, and we're going to be using this angle a little bit later, even though we're on an angle, we need to make sure that everything's staying tight and nothing is moving, so our body is staying nice and straight. For this one, a common mistake, our belly starts sagging because our bottom isn't squeezed, or our chest starts sticking out, or our head starts coming down. So I want you to focus on keeping those arms in nice and close to our ears, our chest in nice and tight, and our bottom squeezed. Awesome, guys. Let's move on to the next thing. So what we're going to be doing now, we're going to be applying our straight body shape to some of our basic jumps. You should have done these jumps while you've been at the gym, but we're just going to refresh you guys' memory, and we're going to make sure that we're all doing them correctly. So we're going to start by doing a straight jump with our hands and our hips. We're going to do it this way just so it's a little bit easier on our body. We have less things to focus on, and we make sure our shape is nice and beautiful. So Xanthi's going to turn and face side on for you guys, and she's going to pop her hands on her hips. And if you can see, when Xanthi stands normally, she has a pretty good shape already. But for some people, they stand normally and their belly's sticking out. So we got to make sure that our belly is in and our chest is in, and we're pulling up as tall as we can. I don't want to see anyone slouching. We're not here waiting for mum to cook dinner. We're here to do some nice gymnastics, so I want to see you up tall. From here, when we do a jump, we're going to push through our ankles and we're going to point our toes in the air. We're still keeping that straight shape even when we're in the air. So let's go, Xanthi, do a couple jumps for me. Beautiful. Now, if you saw when Xanthi jumped, she didn't stick her chest out. None of her shape changed when she jumped. The only thing changed is that she pointed her toes underneath her every single time. That's exactly what we want to see from you guys. But if Xanthi does the wrong thing, it might look like this. See, she's a little bit wobbly. Her shoulders are going all over the place. Her belly's flopping about. Her legs came apart. We don't want that. We want that squeezed body that we just worked on. And we're just putting it standing up into a little jump. So Xanthi's going to show you this 2 more times to make sure it's perfect. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to get a little bit harder. We're going to do a preparation bounce. So when we do these ones, you might remember them. Our arms come up in front of us when we jump up. And as we come down from our jump, our arms come down next to us. Now, most important thing to notice when we're doing this is when our arms are coming up, that doesn't mean our chest starts sticking out. Our arms can move without the rest of our body moving. So Xanthi's going to show us what happens when we stick our chest out. You swing, your chest comes out, it goes all kinds of gross, your arms end up going behind you instead of next to you. But we're going to try that again. We're going to reach up to the sky and keep our chest in. So let's go. We reach up and then down. It's also so much easier to have your arms coming down next to you when your chest isn't sticking out. So it's going to make your life so much easier if we do the nice correct shape. So Xanthi's going to show us 3 more of these in a nice, beautiful shape. Awesome. Now, did you see that she applied all her lower body stuff that we did before? So when she had her hands on her hips, her lower body didn't change. Every time she jumped, she pointed her toes, her bottom was squeezed, everything was nice. We're just building on each time to make sure everything is perfect. So she's going to show us that 2 more times. She reaches up and then down and up and then down. Also, one last thing, her arms are timed at the same time as her jump. So as she goes up, her arms come up. As she comes down, her arms come down. If they come down too early, you're going to kill your jump. If they don't come down at all, you're just going to get stuck. Now, for our next one, we're going to make it even harder. We're going to do a straight jump with our arms up the entire time. I know you might be thinking, this shouldn't actually be harder, but it is, because when you land with your arms up, sometimes it's harder to land and keep that straight body shape because you land and you just tend to sag. So we need to keep those shoulders still squeezing our ears and that belly still in nice and tall. So Xanthi's going to show us some nice straight jumps now. Beautiful. And again, her body from her shoulders down did not change. She still had her arms squeezed up nice and tall like she did at the top of her preparation bounces. And every time she landed, it didn't change. But when she does a bad one and every time she lands, her belly sags, it's going to look like this. See, it sags on the way down because most kids can figure it out on the way up, but on the way down it gets a little bit tricky. So we want to make sure that we're staying tight that entire time. Again, she's covering her ears. I'm pretty sure you guys can't see her ears. I can't see her ears. Her belly's in nice and her chest is in. Those are the most important things that we're looking for to make sure our straight body jumps are staying perfectly straight. Because at the end of the day, if your body isn't straight, it's not a straight jump anymore. So Xanthi's going to show us 3 more of those before we move on to some handstands. Awesome, let's move on. For this next activity, like we just said, we're going to do some handstands. So we're going to start in our beautiful lunges. We've worked on these a few times, but we just want to make sure that they're absolutely perfect. So you should all know how we start a lunge. We start with our arms up in our beautiful straight body position. You should all know this by now. This should be super easy for you. What we're going to do, we're going to put one leg in front and we're going to take our lunge shape. As we're doing so, we're going to lean forward, but we're going to keep our straight body shape. If you can see, Xanthi is nice and straight from her fingertips all the way to her back heel. Her body hasn't moved, her belly hasn't fallen forward, she hasn't put her head down, she's not going all sorts of wonky, she's not sticking her chest out. That's another one that a lot of people tend to do. We're not doing any of those things. We're staying nice and tight and we're just leaning, and then we're going to stand back up. Let's go, beautiful. And we're going to stand back up. Xanthi's going to show you how to do it nicely one more time. Let's go. She leans, her arms are squeezed to her ears, everything's staying nice and tight, and we come back up. But if Xanthi was to do a bad one, which I know you guys aren't going to do, but just in case so we know how to fix it, let's see what that might look like. Look at that. Her arms aren't squeezing her ears, her head is down, her hips are bent. She's got a big bend from her hip, from her upper body to her lower body. We don't want any of that. We don't want to be bending forward. We want to be leaning forward. That way we can stay super duper straight. So we're going to fix those up. First off, we're we're gonna fix our arms. You guys should know this one, it should be pretty easy to do. We're gonna bring our arms up, we're gonna squeeze our shoulders to our ears. We should know this all by now. And if you don't, maybe rewind a little and try again. But we're squeezing nice and tall. Next thing, our body is gonna stay super tight. Our belly is gonna stay tight and our bottom is gonna stay squeezed. If we're doing both of these things, it means we can't bend from our hips and it means we're still gonna be nice and straight. So I want to see you squeezing, and then we're going to put that foot in front. And now we're going to lunge and lean forward. Now it's so much better. We're nice and straight. We're doing a perfect lunge just like we want. And we're staying nice and straight. So Zandy's going to show us one more of those before we move on to our next thing. And our nice long lunge, and our straight body. Beautiful. And we're going to stand back up. Awesome. For our next thing, we're going to do some tuck handstands. So we're going to grab out a box. You guys at home can use a chair or a couch, whatever you have lying available. And we are going to then put our knees on the couch and our hands on the floor. Again, we've done our tuck handstands before. We should know them. We're just making sure that they're absolutely perfect so we know the correct shape. We're going to bring our hands in nice and close to the box. So from our hands to our hips, we can be in as straight of a line as possible. For Zandy, this box is a little bit short, so she is going to curve the tiniest bit. But for you guys, if you've got a box perfect height, you should be perfectly straight. Now from here, does anyone see Zandy's ears? I hope not, because she should be squeezing her arms to her ears. It's what we've been saying the entire video. You should know that by now. On top of that, Zandy's chest is in. Her chest is not touching the box at all, so we can keep it in that nice straight shape, and her belly isn't on the box either because she's lifting it up nice and tall. When we do our tuck handstand like this, it means we can work on making our shape nice and beautiful without having to worry about doing a full handstand, because those are still a bit tricky. So we're making sure that we've got it nice and perfect here before we build onto harder skills. Now, if Zandy was to do a bad tuck handstand, you would see her ears sticking out. Most commonly, I see heads sticking out all the time. People have their heads sticking out. People have their hands too far away from the box, so then their belly ends up sagging and they get their chest too close to the box and it goes all sorts of wonky. So we need to bring our hands in nice and close. We squeeze through our shoulders and we lift everything nice and tall. We should all know this by now, and I'm sure you're all doing a really good job at it, but we just want to make sure that it's absolutely wonderful. Now we're going to take this. We've done half of our body nice and straight in our handstand. We're going to apply it to a handstand kick or a half handstand. So we're going to pop the box out of the way. You guys can move away from the couch now, and we're going to stand up. Oh, sorry. We're going to stand up, back in our lunge. We're going to start in our beautiful lunge like we just did. You guys should know it. It should be perfect by now. I expect great things from all of you. So we're going to have our arms up, our lunging forward. When we pop our hands on the floor, we're going to keep this shape. We're not going to move at all. We're going to keep our chest in tight. We're going to keep our belly strong. And we're going to lift our hips up over our head. We're not too concerned about our legs right now because they're a bit harder to fix up. But that's okay. We're more worried about keeping our body shape. Now, if you see what Zandy did, she did a pretty good handstand, if I do say so. She even made sure her top leg was staying in that nice, beautiful, straight line. I want to see you guys making sure that you can do that as well. And how are we going to do that? We're going to be squeezing our bottoms. The same thing as our lunge. When we bend from our hips or when our legs aren't in a straight line, we normally have to squeeze our bottoms so we can get nice and straight again. So Zandy's going to show us another nice one for us. Look at that beautiful lunge, and then we kick. We stay nice and straight, and we reach up super tall with our feet. But if Zandy was to do a bad one, it might look something like this. Look at that. We got bent legs all over the place. We got our heads sticking out. We got our belly sagging. It's all sorts of messy. And we know by now that we need to keep our bodies super duper tight. Most commonly though, we see a lot of kids bending their legs. And I know it's a bit hard because you get scared because oh my God, you're in the air now. But that's okay. Start with small kicks. Start with making sure that everything's nice. And then eventually we'll build up and up and up till you have a nice beautiful handstand just like Zandy's. So we're going to show you another nice handstand kick with those straight legs. We're squeezing our arms to our ears, our belly is tall, and our toes are going straight up to the ceiling and then back down onto the floor. Awesome, guys. Good job. For our challenge today, we're going to be doing the belly book challenge. So we're going to grab our boxes back out. If you use pillows, grab them back out as well. And we're going to lie down the way we did before on our backs. So again, feet on one side of the box, shoulders on the other box, arms up, squeezing nice and tall. From here, we're gonna put books on our belly and see if we can balance them and hold how many books as we keep our belly up. It's gonna get a little bit heavier the more books you put on, so you gotta use your muscles more and more. I wanna see you do as many books as you can without falling over or without letting your bottom drop.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed following along, and don't forget to see us in the gym soon.
As always, keep fit, make friends, have fun.